It's kind of hard to summarize 3 of the most formative and important years of my life. Countless memories were made at the Biff every single year, whether the New York trip with Foster and Greg, or the countless hilarious productions I did with Jason and Mitchell Salhaney. My only regret is that I didn't get to spend more time on the station. I think the station fills the gap that most classes in a high school setting don't fill: creativity. Room 101 is probably the only environment that gives you a bunch of expensive equipment, a bunch of support, a bunch of training, and then says, have fun, do whatever you want. I've turned my friends into King Kong, small kids, birthday party goers, rappers, existentialist dreamers, and won awards doing so. Even though I made my friends into other people on record, the Biff, whether I knew it or not, made me into another person in real life. I couldn't have gone through high school without the people on the station, like Uncle Ron and especially PB. I love Pete Bowers, and I'll tell you why. The first memory I have of PB is a simple one, yet one that conveys the great person he really is. PB, to get our Eames class to pay attention, stood on the table, held a hole puncher over his head, and pretended to be a satellite by waving his arms. This moment may have made for a funny discussion, but it really encapsulates the type of person PB is. Passionate enough to stand at a table, goofy enough to pretend to be a satellite in front of a class of high schoolers, and knowledgeable enough to make the analogy work. Even beyond his vast radio knowledge, he's one of the most compassionate people I've ever met. No matter who you are or where you're from, whatever you're like, whatever your grades are, PB will accept you and see the positive qualities in you. I was not the most agreeable person when I was younger, but PB still let me on staff despite that. I will forever be thankful for this program and the time I spent on WBFH, with its staffers and faculty. Thank you very much.
Over the course of my 3-year career at WBFH, I've had many good times. Being interested in a career in communications, WBFH offered me a laboratory to hone my craft as a broadcaster. Thanks to the Biff, a dynasty worthy of the 90s Bulls or the 70s Steelers, I've won a total of 15 state and national broadcasting awards from the Michigan Association of Broadcasters, the Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems, as well as the John Drury National High School Radio Awards. Opportunities I've had as a staff member have included play-by-play of school sporting events, play-by-play of MHSAA football and men's basketball championships from Ford Field and the Breslin Center respectively, as well as co-hosting sports talk show with fellow staffers. I've had many great memories throughout my time on staff, from the Drury Awards in Chicago to the IBS Awards in New York. WBFH gave me an outlet for my creativity, or lack thereof, and I cannot thank Mr. Ron Whittables, Uncle Ron, and Mr. Pete Bowers, PB, enough for giving me the chance to be a part of something as great as the Biff. I truly felt as if I was part of a family, and I've probably spent more time in the station than I have in my classes over the last 3 years. I cannot express in words what the Biff has meant to me in my high school career, and it was truly my home in the school community.
Despite having been on staff for 1 semester, I can confidently say that applying to be part of the Biff was one of the best decisions I made for my senior year. Not only has this opportunity allowed me to explore my interest in the field of broadcasting and communications, but it's also allowed me to become a part of the Biff staff community. Additionally, by being part of the school's radio program, I've been able to do my Matthews Tech Kid segment on my weekly show. I've been able to tour offices of 3 radio stations and even record a legal ID with Scott the Gator Anderson. All in all, my time as a Biff staff member has been especially enjoyable, and I'm truly thankful for having been provided this opportunity.
I'm Andrew Brown, and I'm a 6th semester staffer here at WBFH, the Biff. And radio is one of the few things that I will actually miss from high school. Whether you were having a good day or a bad day, if you came down to the station, it would just make it 100 times better. It would always be able to make you enjoy the day. And because of the Biff, I've been able to find my passion in life, broadcasting, which is what I'm majoring in college next year. The microphone just makes me feel at home, and it's just great. And the station itself and the people here are just amazing. It's a very tightly compacted community, and we're all pretty good friends for the most part. Little show rivalries here and there, but overall, it's pretty easy flowing. I remember my first acceptable promo that started it all off. Radio Man. And I did it within 5 minutes, which is unbelievable. Usually a good promo takes older staffers 30 minutes, and I did this in 5. So. And it really just started my love for broadcasting. Ever since then, I've been trying to just best my last promo, best my last production, just try to do better than what I have been doing. And I think that that's been pretty clear with my national and statewide awards. So the Biff is going to be one of the few things that I will ever miss in high school, ever. And I'm glad to say that it's a family thing. Runs in the family, and the Biff is a family.
Or have Foster edit anything we don't want.
When you're ready.
Let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Harrison Parker. I am the current Assistant Operations Manager. I have won 8 state awards, 4 national awards, and I've been nominated for countless others. I am the former Tech Director, the former Administrative Assistant, the former News Director, and the former Assistant Promotions Director. But that is all in the past. The school year is basically over, and when it comes down to it, none of those titles will mean anything to anyone after I graduate. What does mean something, however, is what I've been a part of. I was a part of the Biff. People don't realize how much of an honor that really is. The Biff is a family, a radio family. When you join the station, you really do become a part of something bigger. And as silly as that sounds, it's true. You may not know the people you start off on staff with, but by the time you finish your first semester, you have turned those strangers into friends. Our school has over 1,500 kids, and I still see new people every single day. Because of the Biff, I see people I care about every day as well. You come out of the station knowing people you would never have thought to talk to, or have never even known existed. Being a part of this radio family has been an honor for me. I want to thank Mr. Bowers and Mr. Whittables. They really made high school a fun time for me, and everyone else in the station. Anytime you felt bad, you weren't doing so well, or even when you had nothing else going on, you'd head to the station and be warmly greeted by them. I really don't know how I would have gotten through school without them. They were all of our support systems. Radio is, and always has been, a safe haven from everything that happens in this school. Nothing effective would happen in the Biff. Not the school's crazy policies, and not the school's crazy kids. The Biff is the eye in a swirling hurricane. Something few really appreciate until their time in it is over. My time on radio is over, but there's a point I really want to emphasize. I am a Biff staff member for life. Nothing that ever happens can take that away from me, or anyone else here. We will be a part of the Biff for life, and we're all a part of this radio family. Thank you, Mr. Bowers, and thank you, Mr. Whittables.
Hello. My time on the Biff has been uniquely special in relation to my peers. While the seniors on the radio staff have had anywhere up to 6 semesters at the radio station, I have had 7. This was because the introductory course for the Biff class was previously offered to freshmen, and I happened to be the only freshman admitted to radio staff that year. I owe all of my incredible experiences to Mr. Bowers and Mr. Whittables. The things that I learned from these 2 people I will be able to take wherever I go. I have the awesome memories of high school radio days, station anniversaries, state and national awards, and 3 previous Biff bashes, now 4. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be on the radio staff with Mr. Bowers and Mr. Whittables as my administrators, and the rest of the peers the rest of the staff as my peers and friends. Thank you.
I'm Jonah Lopas. I've been on staff for 6 semesters, 4-time sports director, and I'm going to Michigan State University next year. Some of my memories, I've been on the radio staff since my first semester of my sophomore year. I took Eames and joined the Biff because my brother Justin is on the Biff in high school and he liked it a lot. Radio has definitely been one of the best parts of my high school career. Biff has given me some incredible experiences that I'll never forget. First of all, I loved my show with Jason, J&J Sports Talk, for all of this time. It gave me a great opportunity to talk about whatever I wanted in the sports world. We actually built up a great following over time. One of my favorite things about our show was when my friends would come and talk to me about things that we said over the air. I was the sports director ever since junior year, and with that I got some great opportunities to call some great games. My favorite live game memory would have to be the buzzer beater against Rochester Adams that Jason and I called with a state championship team 2 years ago. To close, I want to thank Pete Bowers and Ron Whittables for all that they have done for the station. Without them, these great opportunities would never have been presented to me, and for that I am grateful. Thank you.
Alright, so my name's Jason Silverstone. I've been on staff 5 semesters, since my second semester of my sophomore year of high school. And I remember being about one of like 10 or 11 kids in my Eames class, which ended up becoming about 4 or 5 kids. I barely finished as valedictorian of the class over Foster Stubbs, another staff member here. And I remember like the first time getting on staff, everyone told me the tales of Andover and how there were 2 production studios and an on-air studio and so much space and, you know, a more spacious station with more room to breathe. But, you know, personally I didn't know any differently. So I wasn't bothered much by like the cramped production studio and on-air studio. But regardless of these less than optimal conditions, we went on to win best station in the nation as well as best station in the state twice. So I'll never forget the great things that this senior class has done overall as a group and how much we've accomplished together. Some of my fondest memories on the Biff include doing various sports remotes, especially going up to Breslin and East Lansing. That was like one of the most memorable things I'd say I've ever done. And also our group senior show after Biff Stock this past year was definitely one to remember. I will never forget that. And also never forget the prank calls we made on the way back from MAB on the bus with some of the former staff members. And I will never be able to forget all that PB and Uncle Ron have done for me and my classmates over the past couple of years. You know, without them, like none of the success, none of the trophies that, you know, we earn would be possible. So, yep, I expect the Biff to have much success in years to come, and I'm glad that I got to spend the majority of my high school here. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Greg Margozzi. I've been on staff for 4 semesters. The dynasty that is the Biff, only comparable to the '60 Celtics or John Wooden's UCLA Bruins, is a history-writing machine that I am proud to say I've been a part of for the past 2 years. From writing and creating award-winning productions, to participating in remotes around the city, to traveling in a van or bus for hours on end to different state and national competitions, there really was never a dull moment here on staff. I've gotten the opportunity to broadcast from Ford Field, the MHSAA State Football Finals, while also being able to meet and interview in Mojo of Chicago, better known as Fred, whose appearance may or may not surprise you. As a station, we've been able to travel to Chicago twice since I've been on staff, with very memorable experiences for each. While the memories I have from traveling to New York with the station are legendary. I was also given the freedom to redesign our website from the ground up, taking inputs from all staff members to create the modern website that we use today. But the biggest memories and experiences I had on staff, and with the Biff, would never happen without the captains that control this radio station. None of us on staff would be where we are today, or who we are today, without the leadership and guidance of Mr. Whittables and radio's own Phil Jackson, Pete Bowers.